Hogwarts Legacy launched. Hey, it's that Harry Potter game that basically everybody has wanted for decades.
Hmm.
It's putting
Yeah.
up huge numbers on Twitch and streams. And this is, I don't think the full game has dropped yet, or it may have just dropped today.
I
Because
think it dropped today, yeah,
there's
or
like
yesterday or something. Yeah.
there's like a deluxe edition where part of the benefit was you you got the game a few days early before everyone else.
Uh,
But on stream, Hogwarts Legacy reached more than 487,000 players to surpass Fallout 4, which reached a peak of 472,962 players. So it's only it's it's got like a ridiculous amount of Twitch or people streaming it on Twitch.
uh,
Uh,
yeah.
Now we can't really see what or it's harder to see what games are doing on Xbox and PlayStation, but on Steam, number one, baby.
Yeah.
Mind you, this list is by revenue, which means it's outperforming the hard to keep in stock Steam Deck, which starts at $400. So
Oh,
considering we aren't comparing apples and oranges here, that's impressive.
yeah. Oh, Ninja Toast says the launched early for digital deluxe edition, and so his
Okay.
copy is available today or tomorrow.
Meanwhile, if we
Yeah.
go down the list a little bit, we see Hi-Fi Rush at the top 25.
That's good.
Yeah, for a little double A game that you can play on Game Pass without extra money. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, hey, you know what? Pe- Harry Potter fans the world over are getting to play the game where they get to be a Hogwarts student of their own design. Reviews I've read have been mostly positive. Like it's not a perfect game, but it sounds like it's at least a B time.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some of the game footage. It looks pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks definitely looks better than Forspoken.
Yes.
Yeah, they're yeah, Samurai Showdown's in the top 20. They're doing like a big discount. We're talking like 100 one second. Uh, why does
Oh.
everyone always want to talk with me between 5 and 6 o'clock on Thursdays?
I, I don't know. By the way, I'm leaving this in the edit.
All right, so let's get back into this. Anyways, Samurai Showdown, that one spiked because it's like $120 edition that they're selling for 20. So you know those Steam sales,
Yeah.
they get a lot of attention. But so anyway, so the Harry Potter fans get the Harry Potter video game that they've dreamed of since they got all that shovelware on the PS2 and every the other consoles.
Yeah, yeah.
Who could possibly be unhappy? Lots of people. Lots of people are unhappy.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I'm not going to read this article by Caitlin Burns, but it's there's no magic spell to remove the transphobia from Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay. So we should probably provide a little backstory here. Um, uh, so J.K. Rowling, the creator of Harry Potter, the original author, um, she said some things regarding trans individuals that some people don't like.
Hmm.
Basically, something along the lines that's you know women. Okay, basically, she thinks that women's spaces should be for biological women.
Hmm.
That's that's basically her opinion, and she thinks that a trans woman is not a biological woman or is not a woman, which is a very controversial opinion these days.
Hmm.
And so a lot of people are not. So people think that she's transphobic. Um, and whether or not I don't think there's, and we actually talked about this before the show. There's actually a trans character in this game.
Hmm. Now, of
Yeah.
course, the author here takes objections to the fact that the character is named for a Celtic or yeah, some sort of Celtic goddess named Sirona. It's like, oh, of course, the trans character has Sir in her name.
Yeah. There's no pleasing some people. But and I remember Chris Gore pointed this out on either it was either on his on Film Thread or on Midnight's Edge, but he said, J.K. Rowling has one opinion that she disagrees with them on, and
Hmm.
now all of a sudden they want to just completely destroy this game and completely destroy her.
Hell, I remember watching some Heels versus Babyface reviews of some CW shows
Yeah,
where 2 years ago they were uh, trash talking her,
yeah,
even though she has a long-standing relationship with Warner Brothers.
yeah, and yeah, it's just, I mean, there are a lot of people out there who owe their careers, and they owe their and owe their money to her, and it's just, yeah,
You're seeing who her real friends are.
exactly, yeah, and so as a result, there was this big push to boycott this game, and a lot,
Look how
yeah,
well that worked.
yeah, it didn't work out too well. Um, uh, which, yeah, it just goes to show you that just goes to show boycotts generally don't work,
Hmm.
because they tend to have the opposite effect. And Nijito says the lead developer got into trouble over opinions about Twitter and GG. I don't want to say that because of YouTube. He was retired before becoming the lead developer of the game, then re-retired before the Twitter mob game. Oh man,
Yeah, this game has been in people's crosshairs for a while.
yeah, and all I can say is just let people play the video games they want to play.
Right. I mean, which is it? Should we separate the art from the artist and, oh, you people who don't like X are just being bigoted, or are the opinions of the artist extremely important and they must be in lockstep with yours in order for you to consume them?
Yeah. Uh, These days, it feels like the latter, and that's really sad. It's kind of goes to the sad state of our world right now. Is that you, I mean, there's no law that says you have to agree with somebody 100% of the time. Like, it's just,
Right.
and it's unrealistic too. I mean, there are things that, there are things that opinions I have that you disagree with. There are opinions you have I disagree with. But
Yeah.
guess what? We get along pretty well. I mean, that's
Right. Like
it,
we agree on a large swath of things, and when we disagree, it's interesting to see where we disagree.
yeah, yeah. It actually leads to some interesting discussions.
Yep.
You know,
But well, anyhow, my opinions on Harry Potter is I enjoyed the first four books, and then I guess I fell out of the age range for it.
uh,
After that 2 year gap between books four and five. Now my dad has read them, and he keeps wanting me to read them, but I just haven't had the time.
mm,
Uh,
yeah.
so so I guess I always leave Harry Potter every time I've tried. I've watched the movies, also stopped on movie four because I just ran out of time. So I always end on Edward Cullen dying.
Uh,
So, so I'm not bringing this up as any sort of like huge defender of the series or anything, but just leave. But there have been like people have been harassing streamers
yeah,
for daring to play this game,
yeah. That's
making lists of the streamers who are daring to play this game.
yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's one of those. That's got to be one of those. Are we the baddies?
Uh,
Moment.
yes. Yeah, exactly.
The answer is yes,
um,
yes, you are.
yes, you are the baddies. But yeah, my, with me with Harry Potter, I didn't read any of the books. My mom did; she enjoyed them. I watched the movies. I will say, as far as the movies go, they're good. Although, you mentioned, like, after movie four, they kind of start to blend in together a little bit.
That's where the plot really kicks in.
Yeah.
Also, I will say that the direction in movies 1 and 2 is so safe and boring.
Hmm.
The opening of movie 3 really made me go, "Wait, what? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dynamic camera angles and action and what?"
Well, yeah, the first two. Well, the other thing too is they were all directed by different people.
Wasn't
Like
the first one Christopher Columbus? Chris Columbus?
the first two. Yeah, he did the first
Thought
two.
so. Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember who did the third and the fourth ones. And then I think his name was David Yates. I think he did like 5 through 8.
Okay.
So that's why they kind of they had more consistency in the back half. But yeah, I mean, I you know, like we said, like we said, we've been saying, like, just let people play this game. Let them enjoy
Right.
it, and
Because it does. Now, I've heard of a few people buying this out of spite who had no way of playing this just because of the ridiculous Twitter mob.
yeah, again, that goes against what they were trying to do.
Yep.
Again, boycotts don't work. There's a little thing called the Streisand effect.
Yep. So I salute this game's success. Warner Brothers kind of needed a win
Yeah.
after Gotham Knights crashed and burned. You might say, "What the hell is Gotham Knights?" Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, but speaking of companies doing things that people, okay, I don't have a transition.
You don't have a transition. All right, just